Deputy Clare Daly, 2 minutes.
Thanks, Chair Corla. I think this is becoming a bit of a habit. 2 weeks ago, I unfortunately had a topical issue to deal with hundreds of job losses in the aircraft aviation maintenance sector, and now here we are with hundreds, in essence, actually 1,000 jobs in the pharmaceutical sector on the line. Now, 570 of those jobs are in Swords, in my constituency. I know the plant well. It's an operation which has been in existence for well over 10 years, provides decent employment, and actually if you were to read their website today you would think things are great. They laud the fact of recent investment in the plant, how the site was selected to manufacture a range of new products which were due to be launched in the next couple of years. They laud the fact that they have made a lot of recent investment in the accommodation in that area. Now we have to, a bit like Deputy OD, the 570 jobs in Swords and MSD Pharmaceuticals come just after the announcement of 280 jobs by the same company for one of the active ingredients of their products in Wicklow. So in essence, they have sliced the second biggest pharmaceutical company in the world are axing their workforce in Ireland by 1/3, and they claim that they have 9,000 indirect jobs based on these, so presumably we can say that another 3,000 jobs are also on the line in this situation. That's an almighty blow which, to my mind, undermines a lot of the great talk coming out of the government. I have a couple of specific questions on it. The IDA Chief Executive, when the announcements were made in MSC, was unfortunate enough to say, look, don't worry about this, we've a great track record in finding alternative buyers, and he said we facilitate the purchase of the site of MSD from global pharma companies such as Pfizer and Wyeth, and then a couple of days later Pfizer come out and announced their job losses. Can the Minister tell us how much supports and grants have been given to the IDA, to these industries? Is there problems in the pension funds in that site? What meetings have taken place with the employer and the unions by the IDA or other government organisations, and has the Minister or his agencies given any attention to the idea of it continuing to operate as a going concern?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Cahill.
4 minutes.
Thank you very much. And I'm taking this on behalf of Minister Richard Bruton. He's out of the country on government business at present. And I just want to thank the deputies for raising this issue, and I think we all share their concern in relation to the 570 jobs being lost in MSD at Swords and the 150 jobs lost at the Pfizer site in Newbridge, County Kildare. And I just want to express my sympathy for the loss of jobs and for the impact that this is going to have on individuals and their families at this time. In relation to Pfizer, like so many companies competing internationally, this company undertook a review of its operations with a view to reducing costs to ensure future viability of the plant. This has resulted in the 150 job losses at Newbridge. The global pharmaceutical industry is experiencing a number of challenges due to patent expiry and overcapacity within manufacturing, and in this context Pfizer is no exception. Greater efficiencies and competitiveness are continually being sought across all Pfizer sites in order to compete in the changing landscape. We know that Pfizer is a leading pharmaceutical employer with 3,200 employees over 7 operations in Ireland. The company's capital investment in Ireland since inception exceeds $7 billion. Pfizer has a key manufacturing presence here in active pharmaceutical ingredients, solid dose pharmaceuticals and biopharmaceuticals, and it also has shared services and commercial operations here. The Irish operations manufacture some of Pfizer's best-selling products for arthritis, infectious disease, high cholesterol and cancer. Pfizer have indicated that its other operations in Ireland will not be affected by this decision. Indeed, the company has made 2 significant investments in Ireland in the last 2 years. Most recent was the 130 million in Clondalkin and Ringaskiddy sites. Over 600 staff will still be employed at Newbridge. IDA Ireland is working closely with the company to ensure the best result for the site. In relation to MSD at Swords, the company is a valued pharmaceutical investor in Ireland. While they announced the closure of their Rathdrum plant by 2015 some time ago, and now this news in relation to Swords, they continue to employ 1,100 staff in their other facilities in Ireland located at Carlow, Cork, Tipperary and Leopardstown, Dublin. And we know that very significant investments have been made in these plants. Unfortunately, the company has had to undertake a review of its worldwide manufacturing capabilities to improve its overall operational effectiveness. And following the merger of Merck Sharp and Dome, MSD, with Shearing Plough, the combined operation has excess manufacturing capacity worldwide. Accordingly, the company has decided to close the Swords operation by 2017 and transfer production to other factories in the group located in countries abroad. The gradual shutdown of this plant gives a valuable space to seek a new operation for the factory. It is not anticipated that any staff will have to leave before mid-2014 at the earliest, and that 130 jobs will be lost in the second half of 2014. The remaining positions will be phased out over the following 3 years up to the end of 2017. As you'll appreciate, the ultimate decision in both these cases is made by the parent company on strictly commercial grounds and on what is seen by the companies as being in the best interests of the group as a whole. We do keep in close contact with key foreign companies in relation to their operations in Ireland. My colleague Richard Bruton met with senior US-based management from MSD last month. I beg your indulgence, Chair, because I have just a few more lines, and I would like to inform the deputies, given that 2 deputies have raised the issue, if they'll grant me 30 seconds or a minute.
It'll be a bit more than that, but I'll be indulgent.
Thank you very much, Chair. But in the wider context as a government, we have put in place strategies for job creation that are now starting to bear fruit. Unemployment levels have started to reduce, and we have had a number of good job wins for the country in recent months. While this, will be of little immediate consolation to the Pfizer or MSD employees and their families, what we're seeing is that the macroeconomic indicators are showing clearly that there is jobs growth. In terms of wider FDI, it is also important to remember that Ireland continues to be attractive because of our corporation tax or R&D tax rates, and over 1,000 multinational corporations have chosen Ireland, and those same multinationals employ 146,000 people directly. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Minister. Deputy.
Just 3 very brief questions, Minister. How many of the 150 redundancies in FITSO do you anticipate will be compulsory? Secondly, what training supports will be given to those who will find themselves out of a job as a result of this round of redundancies? And finally, the government will be well aware for some time of the potential difficulties of the patent cliff. Can the Minister tell me whether the government have had any discussions with pharmaceutical employers in this country about the possible implications of the patent cliff, and if so, what has been the outcome of those discussions?
Thank you, Deputy Daly.
Just in relation in particular to the MSD operation, the Minister makes the point and stresses that this company continues to employ staff and lists out and makes the point that substantial investment have been made in the other locations. The Minister should be aware that substantial investment was made relatively recently in Swords as well, so that's no guarantee or protection there. He makes the point that the Minister Bruton, met management of MSD over a month ago. Can I ask the Minister, was this issue discussed? Did management announce to him that they would be shutting the Swords plant? If they did, what steps did the Minister take to cushion the blow, if you like, because the workers obviously only found out in the last 10 days or so? Did he ask them why Ireland? Because this is becoming a little bit of a habit now in terms of these multinational companies and the drip effect and gradually chipping away at the numbers here. And while I appreciate the point that considerable numbers of people are employed in the multinational sector, and your reliance is for new jobs coming in on that, what we're losing are jobs that were based here for decades. And that is a difference and does have a lasting effect. And it does, your own figures do show that the multinationals are really small employers by comparison with small and medium-sized businesses and with the state and semi-state sector here. So we need to look at that end of things as well.